Hi, I'm Tammy, and welcome to Old Orchard Farmhouse. We're in my dining room today where I just did a little refresh, and I wanted to bring you along because I did a couple things that I wanted to show you how easy they actually are as a DIY project. If you like DIY projects, sewing, thrifting, and decorating, don't forget to subscribe. This video a thumbs up. The first thing I did was to cover my dining room seats. Such an easy fix and makes such a difference. You've been wanting to do this, but you've been a little nervous about removing those seats. Let me just show you how easy it actually is. The first thing I'm going to do, take the screws off. I have my little magnetic dish that I'm going to put those in. That way I don't lose them. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you put those screws somewhere where they don't get lost. Then when I lift up, I can just kind of push the screw out of there, put it in my magnetic bowl. Now I will set that aside and start working on my wood to my chair. Okay, so I'm going to be using Amish wood milk to clean the chairs. And then I'm going to be doing some little touch-ups with my markers. And just wipe it down real good first. But this is just a nice little refresh for spring with the markers. Then I'm going to take the closest marker I can find, and right where I have little scratches, I'm just going to go in, try to follow the wood grain. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and blend it. I let it seep in just a little bit to the wood before I do that. Just dab it a little bit. I think this one's a really deep scratch. Do that. And then dab it.
I'm going to start by removing the staples. One thing I would advise is to use safety goggles when doing this. I loosen the staples and then I come back with my wire cutters and pull the staples out. Once I have all of the staples out of the chair seat, I do dispose of them in an old pill bottle. Safety first. I use my existing seat cover as my pattern. I have changed these seat covers several times, but I've never removed the original fabric. They're in good shape, but they're beige, and that color just doesn't hold up in my house. I start by putting the front center staple in, and then I do the same for the back center. You want to pull your fabric taut, but not so tight that it distorts your fabric. Then I turn it over and give it a quick glance to make sure it's straight, and then I do the same on the sides. I then put a few staples on the side that I'm working on until I get to the corners. Once I get to the corner, I wrap it as if wrapping a gift, making a pleat. I then staple, cut the bulk out, and staple on each side of that pleat. Okay, now when I put them on, I do like to use my electric drill. I take a little flashlight and shine down under there to make sure that I have it lined up with the hole. Turn my drill on. And then I press. Goes in there tight. Give it a good press. So the next thing I did was something that I have wanted done for years. At some point during the 70s, this house was remodeled by the family that lived here. And for some reason, the trim was taken down at the side of the stairs. I think it was probably wallpapered is the reason they did that. But it's always bothered me that it didn't have any trim. I was scrolling Instagram one day and I saw this lady on there running around her house doing all kinds of this beautiful trim with her power tools. And the caption was, "How hard can it be? Boys do it." Well, that set my wheels in motion. And I started thinking about, okay, how can I do this without having to use power tools? Because I am a little afraid of power tools. So what does one do? They Google. Okay, Google, how can I do mitered trim without using power tools? Next thing you know, I was on my way to Lowe's to get myself a miter box. I proceeded to do my trim. When I had my design center, we offered custom window treatments. And the one question that I was asked over and over again was how to clean custom window treatments when they're board mounted. The answer to that is you vacuum. Okay, with the custom window treatment, what I do is take them down, give them a good vacuum and dust. I went ahead and I caulked around the trim that I had installed the day before, and then I finished up by painting. I use painter's tape for everything but its intended use. My secret is to use a really good angle brush. I have an angle brush by Purdy that I use, and the color that I used on my walls is called Blonde by Sherwin-Williams. I love Sherwin-Williams paint because I've never been disappointed with the color once I have painted a wall. The color that I use for my trim work is just pure white.
runner to my stairs for a long time. But I do have a lot of animals here, and my worry is that it will be too hard to maintain. So I was in the thrift store one day, and they had these runner mats. They were brand new. They were $2 each. They were actually the color that I wanted. So I thought that would be a good test for me to see how carpet does on my stairs before I commit to actually doing a runner. I hope I was able to give you some inspiration for your own spring refresh. See you next time. Bye-bye.